which we started on. This didn't originally have a starter, but they added a starter for us old guys. That's great. So I just advanced the spark, and now I'm going to switch it to magneto, which gives a stronger spark. We push the clutch down, that's low gear.
Did you have to hold the pedal down all the time to make it go?
No, just in low, and then you let it up, and that's high.
Huh.
The middle pedal is reverse, and the right pedal is the brake. Volunteers this winter have put together from just parts, and the vocational school is building a wooden body for it.
This is one that used to sit in the lobby. Strange drive, isn't it? Front wheel drive. Steers
a large dealer in New York State by the name of John Willis. He started in Warren as interjected his sense of humor in all of dumping gasoline right into those primer cups. We've got a little bit of an exposure, but enough on its owner as they're starting it, because the planetary transmission is somewhat of a touchy hand.
That's good. I don't think you have the transmission didn't go back to what overlooked it.
Now we can see our 1933 Waco UBF. Another great demonstration. I always love to see them just pick an airplane up to move it. That wooden tail skid, we can't just slide it around. We'd break the tail skid clean off if we tried to do that. So they have to lift the tail of the airplane. I'm not sure quite. Do you guys need a rotisserie out there?
Before they took some and painted them up in odd colors just so they could fly them, but they could pick them out better.
Our executive director. And because we fly most of our aircraft, fuel pressure, you have to carry a couple pounds of pressure, and the driver has to pressurize it by hand as he's racing the car.
very few spats left in the world. But in being accurate, different. And this is an authentic paint scheme for right after the war, which is kind of neat. It's a warplane that was used in peacetime. So in 1919, the 94th Aero Squadron re-glued, stitched, sanded, brushed stuff on. I mean, it was quite a lot of different things involved with this airplane to do it. So some of the guys that are here right now, and these are the guys that, the heart and soul of this place. So we couldn't do it without these kind of people, and we need more.
As they drag the airplane out, underneath the lower wings, you notice there are some large wooden hoops. This airplane was introduced as a primary trainer and pilots learned to fly in. The Curtiss OX-5 V8 engine. However, that engine, being original, they're going to bang that wooden hoop, which is quite springy, but if it does get damaged, it's a sacrificial piece. We're not going to have to, hopefully, rebuild a wing. To land an airplane in Boston Common in 1911, many racers and publications claimed that Old Orchard Beach was superior even to Ormond Beach. Sitting right in front of us, the volunteers are going to oil the valve train, the rocker arms. This 160 engine as well. That's the key feature to these rotary engines. Just as fast as the propeller spins, the engine's spinning with it. This will run at full operational speed, somewhere around 1,100 revolutions per minute. And Everett's just oiling the... That's just gasoline right there. Don't worry about that, folks. That's part of the priming sequence. We open the gas all the way, whip the engine through a couple of times, distributes the gas out into the cylinders, priming the cylinders, kind of like pushing the priming bulb on your lawnmower. He has a tachometer. But what Tom's really focusing on right now are a couple of switches. He has the magneto switch, but he also has... Whoa. Just like a big candle. Let's have a round of applause for it. It's a mag switch which controls grounding out the engine. As the engine's spinning at 1100 RPM at full speed, we don't really have a throttle on a rotary engine like we think of it today. We can adjust the fuel mixture, the air mixture, but we can't throttle up and down. Once we get the airplane running at 1100 RPM, get the engine running, that's our running speed. The only way to slow the engine down on this particular engine is by grounding out the electrical system in stages. And he has a switch for half full, regulated the speed. Their skin, it acted as a filter. We're grounding out the electrical system so the engine only fires at 1/8 its full rate. That's the quarter speed, then we'll go to half and full speed once more.
sounds just as good as new.
Listen to that. D12.
How long would it take to get to Bangor and back?
This car would go 95 miles an hour.
Wow.
We drive it at 65 all the time. I'm in second gear.
It still has that rear end ratio you spoke about?
No, I put a 389.
That'd be from a different package? I mean, different.
Well, I have to downshift now.
Right.
With the 389. Isn't that something back there? Now I can't tell you whether I'm in hard ride or soft. I left it where it is.
Very smooth. And you said a lady just took this to the grocery store.
15 years. I think you missed Tony saying I'm going to have it.
Makes a pretty humming noise. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty advanced for 1885. You also got to remember that this wasn't just the dawn of automobile technology turning it on. Kerosene was what everybody wanted, lamp oil. So this was breaking ground in fuel. You just
Actually runs on a real linear engine, so it's a reproduction.
Yeah, you gotta lean way back. Get her right in. Get her?
Yeah, he's got it. Oh, taller than I am, I think.
Yeah, this is something else.
There you go. Yeah. He just died last year at 102. Is that right? 101 or 102. The nicest guy you could meet.